This morning, apparent assassination attempt foiled. Donald Trump safe and well as the Secret Service arrests a suspect. The Prime Minister blames the Coalition and the Greens for the nation's housing problems. Two men on the run after a wild police pursuit through Sydney South. And an Aussie actor takes the crown at the Emmys.
Live, this is 7 News with Karina Carvalho.
Good morning. Donald Trump says he's safe and well after Secret Service agents foiled an apparent assassination attempt in Florida. As David Woywood explains, a man was spotted hiding in the bushes with an AK-47 rifle while the former president was playing golf.
Good morning. Well, the top line here is Donald Trump is safe and well. He's said to be in good spirits after his Secret Service detail have opened fire on a gunman hidden in bushes at the former president's golf course in Florida. Trump had been between holes 5 and 6 when his security detail, clearing the path ahead, noticed the barrel of an AK-style weapon pointing out of the shrubs. An agent opened fire. The gunman, identified as Ryan Wesley Routh, aged in his 50s, then fled, leaving the weapon, a firing scope, 2 backpacks and a GoPro behind. A quick-thinking witness helping track the man down minutes later.
Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag, which was great. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy.
Trump was whisked to the clubhouse on a golf cart before a motorcade took him a short drive back to his Mar-a-Lago estate. There were gunshots in my vicinity, Trump posted minutes later. I am safe and well. Nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender.
Take a look at what happened.
It's the second assassination attempt in 2 months on the former President Donald Trump as questions about the protective coverage hang large over both candidates. Vice President Harris reiterating her relief at hearing Trump was okay, again declaring violence has no place in America. It's a sentiment echoed by US allies.
This incident in the United States is of concern again. It is good that President Trump has said that he is safe.
The gunman's motivation is still unknown as the FBI, the lead agency on this case, now gets to the bottom of yet another terrifying near miss in this election campaign.
David Woywood reporting. The Prime Minister has launched a blistering attack on the Coalition and the Greens, blaming them for the nation's housing problems. Live now to political reporter Isabel Mullen. Isabel, Anthony Albanese had a lot to say this morning.
He certainly did, Karina. Good morning. The Prime Minister held an early press conference imploring both the opposition and the Greens to get out of the way and help pass this legislation in the Senate. Today, the Senate will be looking at the government's Help to Buy scheme. The Prime Minister says it will assist about 40,000 Australians to get into a new home. They'll only need a 2% deposit. The government chipping in 40% for a new home and about 30% for an existing home. This was a policy the Greens initially supported. They have since changed their mind. Here's Anthony Albanese.
We are building. The Coalition and the Greens have been blocking. This is about supporting home ownership in this country, and it's something that should frankly have sailed through the Parliament before now. Were it not for the Coalition and the Greens combining in their coalition to block housing supply.
Also lashed out at the Greens this morning, saying they will face the consequences of not supporting this bill at the next election.
We have a choice. We either start building houses or we continue to argue and we don't get any more roofs over people's heads. And I will not be stopping people out there and their children from having a roof over their head and having warmth during the winter. I won't be a part of that.
And now here we are with Labor throwing a tantrum and stubbornly trying to ram through this bill, which will drive up house prices.
Time is running out for Labor to pass this legislation this year with just 4 sitting weeks left. Karina.
Isabel Mullen, thank you. Two men are still on the run after leading police on a wild pursuit through Sydney South. The pair was seen driving a stolen car at high speed, triggering the police response. Lucy McLeod has the story.
Good morning. Well, it was midnight on the Princes Highway that police noticed a stolen vehicle driving erratically. They tried to stop it, but the driver had other ideas, taking officers on a high-speed pursuit through Sydney South for about 30 kilometres, only managing to stop this vehicle when they laid out spikes, puncturing those tyres. Now, the car stopped, but the offenders didn't. Somehow, they managed to evade police and the dog squad, and they're still on the run this morning as police examine the vehicle for forensic evidence. They're calling on anyone with information to contact police.
Cost of living has taken centre stage this morning in the unofficial Queensland election campaign. The Premier unveiling more concessions after both sides of politics committed to making 50-cent public transport fares permanent. Marlena Wopp reports.
Well, the polls are indicating Labor is heading for a wipeout at the election, but Stephen Miles is trying to pull out all stops to get more Queenslanders on board. The Premier took a train to his media conference and spent the morning on a train platform spruiking his plan to make 50-cent public transport fares permanent across the state. It follows a successful 5-week trial with a spike in commuter numbers. The opposition leader, David Crisafulli, says an LNP government would make the trial permanent, so the flat rate fares are here to stay in Queensland. Cheaper car registration fees are also being rolled out from today. The LNP leader has announced he would establish 2 youth justice schools for troubled teenagers at risk of reoffending in an effort to curb youth crime. Labor argues it already has education programs in place as both sides focus on crime and the cost of living ahead of the election.
Marlena Wopp in Brisbane. Detectives in Melbourne are on the hunt for a group of firebugs after a convenience store was torched overnight. It's believed a group of 4 people set the Greenvale business alight just before 4 o'clock this morning. They fled in a white vehicle a short time later. Nobody was injured, but police are calling on the public for help. An abandoned police station in Sydney's inner west has also been the target of an arson attack. Police were called to the heritage-listed building just after 4 a.m. Officers found a fire lit at each entrance to the building. It's believed Molotov cocktails were thrown at both entryways. The station has not been in use since 1981. The Prince and Princess of Wales have sent birthday greetings to Prince Harry, a move that's being seen as a slight thawing in frosty relations. It's the Duke's 40th, and it's the first time in several years there's been any public display of warmth.
A birthday milestone has ended a pause in public affection shown by the royal family for Prince Harry. Surprisingly re-shared with a happy 40th birthday message from the Prince and Princess of Wales amid a personal rift. But will this change anything?
Perhaps at best this might be another sort of olive branch, a digital olive branch from the King. I think the problem perhaps lies with Harry and William's relationship, and I don't think a retweet and an added message really fundamentally changes the situation between the two brothers.
It's been a tumultuous 10 years for the once party prince, who was at one time more loved than the late Queen. His popularity was sky high as his marriage to Meghan pulled in a historic number of viewers.
When someone who's marrying in, who should be a supporting act, is then stealing the limelight or is doing the job better than the person who was born to do this, that upsets people.
But soon after, the Fab Four split and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex broke away from the royal family. Harry aired accusations against them from LA and continues to be involved in legal battles with some of the press. Tensions between Prince Harry and his family are still rife. He last saw his father during a flying visit from LA in February after learning of the King's cancer diagnosis. But he'll still be celebrating today with his wife and their 2 children before heading away with friends. While this moment showed that Harry's reaction to a message from his brother, today's might be a turning point.
Next in 7 News, Comanchero bikies as we've never seen them before. Both sides of politics commit to cheap public transport in Queensland. And Aussie success as the Emmys showcase the best of television. One of Australia's most notorious outlaw bikie gangs has offered a rare inside look at its national run. The Comancheros have shared a heavily produced 5-minute video of the gang's annual run to Canberra.
Wiping them out, see you hop on the block and I'm striking them out, 38 for the white will silence them out. 38 will silence them out, can't be us they talking about, everyone that's talked on us, I can swear on my mum that they all found out.
The video was posted online over the weekend. The ACT so far hasn't implemented new anti-consorting laws that prevent outlaw bikie gangs from gathering or wearing their colours in a group. Taylor Swift's endorsement of Kamala Harris for November's presidential race seems to be playing on the mind of Donald Trump. The former president and Republican nominee has taken to his Truth Social platform, writing, "I hate Taylor Swift." His post comes 5 days after the pop star gave her endorsement of Trump's Democrat rival and her running mate, Tim Walz. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Yemen's Houthi rebels will pay a heavy price after a missile fired by the group landed in central Israel. The Israeli military says the missile hit an uninhabited area and no injuries have been reported. The strike marks the first time a missile fired by the group has reached central Israel, which is around 2,000 kilometres from Yemen. The crew of SpaceX Polaris Dawn has returned to Earth after 5 days in orbit, ending a historic mission. The Dragon capsule has splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico. The Polaris Dawn mission made history with the world's first commercial spacewalk. The crew also flew 1,400 kilometres above the Earth's surface, the highest altitude humans have reached since 1972. Checking finance now, and the local market has begun the trading week higher, up 18 points. One Australian dollar is buying 67.08 US cents, 94.2 yen, and $1.08 New Zealand. There's been Australian success at the Emmy Awards in Hollywood. Elizabeth Debicki has been honoured as Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series for her portrayal of Diana, Princess of Wales in The Crown. Naomi Watts is another Australian who's hoping for the best as the awards night continues. Earlier, Miley Hogan was on the red carpet.
Well, the red carpet is the show before the show, where the stars get to show off their stunning style, and this year didn't disappoint. Australia's Naomi Watts was gorgeous in green, tonight nominated for her role in Feud, Capote versus the Swan. Elizabeth Debicki is Australia's other hope tonight, nominated for her portrayal of Princess Diana in The Crown. Her castmate, Dominic West, nominated for Best Lead Actor in a Drama Series.
I'm delighted. I'm absolutely pleased to bits.
The red carpet is also a chance for the celebrities to have a laugh, catch up and have some fun. Modern Family's Jesse Tyler Ferguson has been nominated 5 times but never won. He wasn't letting that get him down.
It truly is an honour to be nominated. I think about the fact that I was up against so many incredible people that season. Every time I got nominated and I still was mentioned, it's a huge honour. So.
Have you got a graciously losing face? But tonight there will be big winners. Shows expected to clean up include Shogun, The Bear and Baby Reindeer. And while they're celebrating today's big hits, tonight's show will also feature some throwbacks with cast reunions from fan favourites.
Miley Hogan there. Sport is next in 7 News, including the AFL hits Ken Hinkley with a hefty fine. The Bulldogs exit the NRL finals, and Oscar Piastri's rapid rise to the top of Formula One continues with another Grand Prix win.
That goes the way of...
The AFL has come down hard on Port Adelaide coach Ken Hinkley. He's been hit with a $20,000 fine for taunting Hawthorn's Jack Ginnivan after last Friday's semi-final at the Adelaide Oval. Port great Kane Corn says the AFL's response is over the top.
I can't believe the overreaction from the Hawthorn Footy Club. Like, have they got the glassiest glass jaws in football right now? Former Hawthorn players in the media, from the Hawthorn Footy Club, from Sam Mitchell, from James Sicily, who spoke again at the airport. He was almost in tears. I was like toughen up.
The Power face the Swans for a spot in the grand final at the SCG on Friday night. In the other preliminary final, the Lions take on Geelong at the MCG on Saturday evening. Both games are live here on 7. In the AFLW, the Suns struck after the siren to steal a draw with the Giants.
Jamie Stanton with ice through her veins. We come away from Monaco Oval 36 apiece.
The result lifts Gold Coast off the bottom of the table, but they remain winless after 3 games. The Bulldogs are uncertain if Josh Addo-Carr's drug driving controversy had an impact on their performance in their elimination final defeat to the Sea Eagles. Addo-Carr stepped down and didn't play in the 24-22 loss following a positive roadside drug test for cocaine.
It's hard to say whether it had an impact or not. What I will say is I thought we handled it great. You're always looking at the playing group and thinking, how's it affected? And they came to me and said, this is not a distraction for us. We're right to go. And I think it showed out there.
Tom Trbojevic says he'll be fine for Saturday's elimination final against the Roosters after playing through a shoulder injury. Oscar Piastri sealed his second Formula One victory with a stunning performance at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Starting from second on the grid, Piastri gained control of the race on lap 20 after a spectacular move on leader Charles Leclerc.
Piastri down the inside, late on the brakes, makes the move stick.
Piastri held on to become the first Aussie to win multiple races in a single season since Daniel Ricciardo in 2018.
There's no such thing as a relaxing lap around here, so it was hard work, but no, I think that definitely goes down as one of my better races of my career.
A late crash between Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez ended the race under a virtual safety car. Tottenham have just one win from their opening 4 Premier League matches. Spurs blew early chances at home against North London rivals Arsenal. The Gunners capitalised from a corner to win 1-0, handing Ange Postecoglou's men consecutive defeats.
For some reason, people think I don't care about set pieces, and it's a narrative that you can keep going on for ages and ages. We switched off for one and we paid a price, and you learn from that and you move on. It's my burden to carry, mate, and I'm happy to do that.
Newcastle United scored twice in the final 15 minutes to beat Wolves 2-1. Australia ended the Davis Cup group stages with a 2-1 loss to Spain. Despite Carlos Alcaraz being rested, Jordan Thompson could not capitalise, falling in the opening singles rubber to Pablo Carreño Busta. Alexei Popyrin levelled the tie with a straight sets win over Pedro Martinez.
Oh, somehow he's got out of jail.
Oh, that is huge.
Matt Ebden and Max Purcell fell in the doubles decider. The draw for November's knockouts will be announced this week. Just over a month after her gold medal victory in Paris, Naomi Fox is back on the podium in the kayak cross, taking bronze at the World Cup in Italy. Fox dominated her opening heats before finishing third in a tight affair behind Great Britain.
It's going to be a GB 1 and 2, and Naomi Fox takes the bronze. What a race.
Fox's final World Cup event of the year is in Spain next week. Next in 7's Morning News, the national weather forecast.
Cash and stars on Sunrise.
We have $50,000 in prizes up for grabs.
And you could win the ultimate fan experience with Katy Perry before she performs at the AFL Grand Final.
That's a TV exclusive.
Plus, the dessert queen is here with fun cakes for the whole family. Start with Sunrise.
Germany's first hobby horse championship has galloped through Frankfurt. The popular pastime saw trained competitors take neigh prisoners on their canter to the top. Roughly 300 riders were scored on time jumping, style jumping and dressage on their wooden stick horses. It all began in Finland and has recently exploded in popularity thanks to social media. Taking a look at the weather around the country, onshore winds will gradually clear showers from eastern Queensland, coastal New South Wales and eastern Victoria. Moist westerly winds will bring gusty showers to western Tasmania. Around the capitals, sunny in Brisbane 23, sunny also in Sydney 20, partly cloudy 17 in Canberra, a shower or two for Melbourne, showers easing 14 in Hobart, Adelaide mostly sunny 17, sunny 25 for Perth and a shower or two developing 34 degrees in Darwin. And that's 7 News to now. We'll keep you up to date throughout the day. Our next major bulletin is at 4 p.m. I'm Karina Carvalho. Thanks for your company. Enjoy your day.
The 7 News app will give you the news you want every minute of every day, including breaking news alerts. Download the 7 News app now.